Okay, so we're on our badger permission. You'll know if you watch the last film. If you haven't, I'll put a link up here. We came down to do some badger photography and we got a proper surprise. We had 4 little fox cub came out, and I got some cracking pictures. I really did. I was well chuffed. So I thought I'll take advantage of the situation. I've come down tonight. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you exactly how I set up. We're going to put the permanent light system up again, continuous lighting, and I've got a couple of ideas from what I did last time, more by accident really. I got some really nice lighting, you know, techniques, if you will, and I got a few ideas running in my head. So I thought we'll come down tonight, because the longer you leave it, you know, they grow up quick, these cubs, and they'll be getting cute, and you know what I mean, they'll be getting more and more difficult to photograph. So you've got to take advantage of the situation, get as much done as you can in the time that you've got, because like I said, they grow up quick and they'll be gone. So we're going to get set up. I'm going to show you our setup camo wise. We're not using a hide, we're going to use a bit of natural screening and my ghillie blanket, and we'll see if we can get some fox pictures tonight. Stick with us. How are we doing? Right. We're here. That's our back end of the badger set, which after listening to what a few people have said on the comments of the last film, I think what's happened, the foxes have taken over this probably redundant end of the badger set and made it into their fox earth. So that's why we've got the fox cubs living in there, and the vixen hopefully. So what we're going to do is work out the best position that we want to shoot them from. We're probably only 20 metres from where I was sat last time. Now it's no good for a hide because we're on a sloping bank and it just slopes down to the stream there. So what we need to do is use some form of natural cover, and also the camo that we've got. So I've got my cami jacket on, but it's not enough really. So I've got the transparent ghillie blanket, and all I want to do is maybe look for some some branches or logs, and what we'll do, we'll get nestled in behind them, we'll drape the ghillie blanket over, and that will give us a nice screen and it'll look natural as well. So what we'll do now, it's only 7:15 now, so they've been coming out after dark, around about 9 o'clock, 10 past 9, something like that. So it gives us bags of time. We've just got to be quiet though. I don't want to make too much noise just in case they do come out early. So I'm going to try and get set up as quick as I can. We're going to have a mooch around now. We're going to find a nice log or branch set up that we can just put here, something that's quite low down, but it's going to give us enough screening to hide us from when they do come out. Then we're going to have a look at the lighting. Like I said on the last film, I got some really nice shots with the light. I got one of a fox cub looking up into the light, and it was probably my favourite shot that I've ever taken of a fox. So I want to try and recreate that, but I want something a bit nicer underneath. I want to try and get a nice mossy log, so we'll go and have a look for something like that as well, and yeah, see what we can get. Right, let's have a look, see what we can find. That might be a bit flimsy. Yeah, something like this will do. Let's give this a try. That'll do it. That's perfect. That. Hopefully it's perfect. So what we've done there, just got this long branch. It's about probably 18 inches off the ground there, and we can get snug in behind there, have the legs out, and then we'll just drape that ghillie blanket over, and that should give us enough screening really. I want to keep low down as well because we've got all these bluebells coming out, so we should be able to, if we get low enough, we should be able to get a nice bluey hue in the foreground, if you will, and maybe get some of them near enough in focus, depending on where we put the log and the lighting. So we'll get that ghillie blanket set up now. I'm going to set the camera up, get in position, and then we'll work out where to put the lighting. I always find it's best when I'm doing a setup like this, just get in a position where I know I'm going to be comfortable before I set the camera up. Okay, so that should be covered. If I get to this kind of height, so I know I want the head of the tripod there. Now, again, it's really worth taking your time with this. It's really important that you get the height right. We're on a new tripod. We're on the old on the iFootage fastball. It allows you to adjust. If you haven't got it quite level, it allows you that adjustment there. We're going to do a review on it soon, but up to now I am well impressed with it. It's a cracking bit of kit. So like I said before, once you've got the camera at the right height that you're comfortable with, just have a quick look through the viewfinder. That's lovely. That is perfect. Yeah, we've managed to get that view of the bluebells in the foreground. So I'm hoping that should do the trick. Let's set this ghillie blanket up. So if you haven't got a ghillie blanket, you can use a camo net. They're pretty good. But this is a cracking piece of kit. Went on my ass then. Right. So let's have a look. If I get behind there now. How's that look? Pretty good that. I'm chuffed with that. Right. So when I got that shot the other night, I had the light just set up. You can see that branch there. I had the light set up and it was shining down. So what I'm hoping to do is use this log. I've just found this log, but I think it looks pretty cool with all the, you know, the decay on it and the moss. So what I'd like to do, I mean, again, it's having that idea in your head of the shot that you want. I'd like to maybe get one of the cubs with its front paws on here. Whether it happens, I haven't got a clue. But what I'm going to do to try and make it happen, I'm just going to make a few holes in. Yeah, I've got my knife. I'm going to make a few holes in here, and all I've got some chewy dog treats, little slack handful. I've cut them into little cubes. I'm going to put a couple just around the entrance so that it brings them out. But then I want them basically to come here for them. So if I put the majority around here, hopefully they'll sniff them out. And you never know, touch wood, we might get the shot. So I want these bluebells in the foreground, and I'm just going to put it. Let's have a look. I've got to be careful not to step on these bluebells and ruin it. So just going to put it there. Hopefully, set the light up here. Maybe about 3 foot. It's casting down here. I'll put another light there so we don't get any harsh shadows, and we'll see what happens. Put that there just to stop it rolling down. When you're doing a setup like this as well, it's not as critical because we'll probably have a dark background, but when you have a look through your camera lens, I'm going to go back now, have a look through the camera lens, get my composure right, but always have a look what's in the background. There's some baling twine there, what the farmer's left, so I'm going to move that out of the way. I don't want that showing up, I don't want to have to Photoshop anything out, I don't like doing that. So, but I think it looks pretty cool, that. So we'll get the background sorted now. I'm going to drill a couple of holes in this, and then we're going to put the lights up. Right, as far as putting a bit of bait down, right, before anyone gets the knickers in and out over it, that's all I'm putting down. I'm just putting a little handful of chewy dog treats. Chewy dog treats that cost a fortune. It'd have been cheaper buying rump steak, honestly. I couldn't afford to feed them every day, these foxes. I'm just literally putting a handful like that down. So, not like I'm feeding them every day. It's only the second time I put bait down for them. So, yeah, regarding them getting dependent on food, it ain't happening. So don't worry about that. So we're just going to drill a couple of holes in with a knife, put a few bits in the log, so hopefully they'll sniff it out. They should do, because it stinks. And yeah, we'll just put a couple around the entrance, and hopefully they'll come this way and start feeding on it. So guys, this is our lighting system. As I showed you in one of the other films, just a cheap lighting stand. You could use a normal tripod if you wanted to. It's just that I had these. So we've got one of them. These are the LED panels. I'll put the link in the description. 55 quid they are for 2 of these. They're 10 watts, so they chuck out a fair bit of light. All we do, stick them on there, and then I'm just running them off a power bank. These ones are Immuto, they're called. Again, I'll put a link in the description. They are, what's this one? 30,000 milliamp hours. So that'll last. When I've had these on for maybe 2.5 hours, something like that, probably uses 25%, and that's on about 75% power. So work it out. Yeah, there'll be plenty of charge. They're about, well, I've got 78%. So all you do, just plug them in, and then you've got your control there, and then you can alter the intensity. You can just drop them down if you want. I found, you know, I generally have them on about 3/4 power, and it's enough. So I'm going to set one up here, shining down onto that log, and then I'm going to set one up on the other side of this little track, just shining onto it, and hopefully, you never know, they'll come out to play. We'll see what we can get. Let's get them set up. The trick is to try and get this as correct as you can, because once you've got them lights on, you're kind of committed then. You don't want to be going back towards, you know, where they're coming out, in case you spook them. So it really is worth taking your time to try and get it as good as you can before you go back to your camera and get bedded in. Another little trick, if you're using a setup like this, the power banks, tape them onto the tripod, because as you saw, you might have seen in that other film, one of them, it didn't bite through the wire, so what it did, it just pulled the USB wire out of the power bank and promptly rolled the power bank down the banking near enough into the stream. So it's an idea just to get a bit of insulation tape, just wrap them onto the tripod so they can't sabotage it. Once everything's set up, get back to the camera, have a look at your composition. That's lovely, that. So we've got the bluebells. We're low enough down that we've still got a few bluebells in the foreground. What I'm tempted to do is one of the little LED panels. I think what I might do, just to add a little bit of light into the foreground, I might just put one of the small LED panels, there we go, just in the foreground, just to light them bluebells up a little bit. So that, I'm just going to put it on the little joby, flexible tripod, and then we can just, I'm going to put it right down onto minimum. There we go. Minimum lighting, and it'll just cast it onto them bluebells, and hopefully it'll just illuminate it a bit. Might just give it a nice touch, that. We'll put that on near the time though, because these don't last as long as those big lights. Just need some foxglove now. Right, I'm going to get my cami on, I'm going to get my cameo on, get my gloves on, and get bedded down. Right guys, we're calling it a do tonight. Pretty successful, to be honest. Yeah, we had them, got them coming down, but they weren't hanging around so much tonight. They were only knocking about for a good, well, half an hour, if that. They're growing up really quick. I've been at work for the last 4 days and 4 nights, so I've not been able to get down, and I can't believe how much they've grown, and they're getting wary. And wary foxes, they're hard to photograph. So if you've got a situation like this where you've got fox cubs, make the most of it, because they grow up really quick, and they do get difficult to photograph once they get a bit older. So yeah, that's how I do it. Pretty simple really, pretty simple setup. This little light worked nice, it just lit the foreground, so that worked well. Bit of a different prop, just bury the food in the prop, and I so nearly got the shot I was after. I'll put it on now, but it just wasn't sharp enough. So we'll come back, we'll have another do. But I got a couple of nice shots on there, so I'm happy. If I get one shot, I'm an happy chap. If we don't get any, doesn't matter, because we've been out enjoying ourselves, haven't we? So that's it for this one. Hope you've enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up and a like, and you know the score. And thanks for watching, thanks for all the support. We're flying at the moment, we're heading for 7,000 subs, so that's absolutely amazing. So, and it's all down to you lot. Any questions or comments, put them in in the comments section. I'll always get back to you. It might take a little while, but I will get back to you. So thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one.